Okay, hi guys, how do you solve this simultaneous equation? X raised power 4 plus y raised power 4 is equal to 257 and x plus y is equal to what? 5. This is linear and this is what? Polynomial. Now if I take x as what? 5 minus y and substitute into this equation 1, I'll get degree 4, degree 3, degree 2, which might be complex for you. Now this kind of equation is called a symmetric equation because if I replace x here with y and replace y with x, I'll get the same thing. If I replace x with y and replace what? Y with x, I'll get the same thing. Now for simplicity, put x as what? A plus b, and put y as what? A minus b. Because if I add x and y together here, I'll get just 2a. B is what? Is out. So from here, x plus y gives what? 2a. And for my equation, x plus y is what? Is 5. So that means what? 2a is what? Is given as what? As 5. And a is what? Is 5 all over 2. Now since a is what? Is 5 over 2. That means what? X is what? 5 all over 2 plus b, and y is what? 5 all over 2 minus b. Now from equation 1 now, which is x raised power 4 plus y raised power 4, which is what? 257. Can be written as 5 over 2 plus b raised power 4, then plus 5 over 2 minus b raised power what? 4, which is what? 257. Now this is 5 over 2 raised power plus b raised power 4, then 5 over 2 minus b raised power what? 4. Let's expand this using what? Pascal triangle. Now the power is what? Is 4. That means the coefficient should be what? 1, 4, 6, 4, 1 from Pascal triangle. So 5 over 2 plus b raised power 4 gives 1 into bracket 5 over 2 raised power what? Raised power 4 plus 4 into bracket 5 over 2 raised power 3 decreasing, and b raised power 1. Then plus 6 into bracket 5 over 2 raised power 2, then b raised power what? Raised power 2. Now this starts what? Increasing now. Then plus 4 into bracket 5 over 2 b raised power what? 3 plus 1 into bracket b raised power what? Power 4. That's the expansion of this. What about the expansion of what? 5 over 2 minus b raised power what? 4. The same thing, but this is what? Negative. That gives plus 5 over 2 raised power 4 plus 4 into bracket what? 5 over 2 minus b raised power 1 plus 6 into bracket 5 over 2, this is raised power 3 raised power 2 minus b raised power 2 plus 4 into bracket 5 over 2 and minus b raised power what? 3, then plus minus b raised power 4. Now this is 4 into bracket 5 over 2 raised power 3 and minus b, and here we have 4 into bracket 5 over 2 raised power 3 b. So this cancel out. Also we have 4 into bracket 5 over 2 minus b raised power 3, because I'll get what? Minus b raised power what? 3. And here there is what? B raised power 3. Cancel out. So this is minus b raised power 2, which is what? B raised power 2. And minus b raised power 4 is what? B raised power what? 4. So I have 5 over 2 raised power 4 and 5 over 2 raised power 4. That becomes 2 into bracket 5 over 2 raised power 4. Now plus, this is 6 into bracket 5 over 2 raised power 2, b raised power 2, and the same thing here. That becomes 2 into bracket 6, 5 over 2 raised power 2, b raised power 2. Now plus b raised power 4 and what? minus b raised to power 4 is what? B raised to power 4. That gives what? 2b raised to power 4. Now we notice that 2 is a common factor, which is what? 2 into bracket 5 over 2 raised to power 4 plus 6 into bracket 5 over 2 raised to power 2 b raised to power 2 plus what? B raised to power 4. And it is equal to what? 257. The expansion of this plus this, which is equal to what? 257. 257. So that gives 2 into bracket. Now what is 5 raised to power 4? That's what? 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, which is 625 over 2 raised to power 4 is what? 16. Plus 5 raised to power 2 is what? That's 25. 2 raised to power 2 is what? Is 4 multiplied by 6. That's 75 over 2 b squared plus what? B raised to power 4 all over 1, which is what? 257. Now you notice that I have just degree 4 and what? Degree 2. Okay. So that's 2 into brackets. What is the SCM here? The SCM is what? 16. Now 625 plus 2 in 16 is what? Is 8. This is 75, not 73. 25 times 6 is what? 75. So 2 in 16 is what? Is 8. What is 75 times 8? That's 600 b squared plus this 16 b raised to power 4, which is equal to what? 257. Now you take the cross multiplication of this, but this is 625 plus 600 b squared plus what? 16b raised to power 4. And this is what? 2 into bracket what? All over what? Over 16. Now 16 divided by 2 is what? Is 8. That gives 625 plus 600 b squared plus 16 b raised to power 4 all over what? All over 8, which is what? 257. Now 625, or let's write it as 16 b raised to power 4 plus 600 b squared plus 625, which is equal to what? What is 8 times 257? 57 times 8 2056. So that's 16b raised to power 4 plus 600b squared plus 625 minus 2056, which is what? 0. Now what is 625 minus 2056? That will be negative. And let's take 2056 minus what? 625. That's 1 3 1 4 3 1. Now this is 16b raised to power 4 plus 600b squared minus what? 1431, which is equal to what? 0. 16b raised to power 4 plus 600b squared minus 1431, which is equal to 0. Now I can write this as 16b raised to power 4 plus 636b squared minus 36b squared minus 1431 equal to 0, which is the same thing. For me to what? Solve this. Now this is 16b raised to power 4 plus 636b squared minus 36b squared minus what? 1431 is equal to what? 0. So if I factorize this now, that was 4 is a common factor here. Notice 4 is a common factor. It's a common factor here. So that gives what? 4 into brackets. 4, okay, let's say 4b squared, then 4b squared plus what? 36 divided by what? 4b squared is what? 159. Ah, that's 159. Let's take 159 multiplied by what? 4 is what? 36, 20, 23. That's 36, 20, that's 23, 4 times 4, that's 636. You see, that's 159. Then 159b squared. So minus, also 4 is a common factor, that's 4b squared. Then what is this? That's, okay, 9 is a common factor here. 9b squared, and that is what? 4b squared, because 9b squared times what? 4b squared is what? That's 36. And what about 9 multiplied by 159? So that will be 9 into bracket 4b squared plus 159. What is 159 multiplied by what? 9. That's 81. 45 plus 8 is what? 53. And that's 1431. So equal to what? 0. Now 4b squared minus 9 and what? 4b squared plus 159 is what? 0. So we can take this as 4b squared minus 9, which is equal to 0, and b squared is what? 9 over 4, which gives b is what? Plus or minus square root of 9 over 4, which is plus or minus 3 all over 2. And also when 4b squared is equal to what? Minus 159, that gives b squared is what? Minus 159 all over 4, and that gives what? B is what? Plus or minus square root of what? Minus 159 all over square root of 4 is what? Is 2. So that's the value of what? Of b, which is what? Plus or minus 3 over 2, or negative of what? 159 over what? Over 2. And from here we have x as what? 5 over 2 plus b, and y as what? 5 over 2 minus b. So, but x is 5 over 2 plus b. So when b is what now? 3 over 2. That gives 5 over 2 plus 3 over 2, which is what? 8 over 2, which is what? 4. And when b is what? Minus 3 over 2. We still have x as what? 5 over 2 minus 3 over 2, which is what? 1. So, what about y? What's the value of y? Y is what? 5 over 2 minus b. That gives 5 over 2 minus, that's when b is what? 3 over 2. We have 1. Also, y is what? 5 over 2 minus b. Now, when b is what? Minus 3 over 2, that gives 5 over 2 plus 3 over 2, which is what? Which is 2. So the value of what? X is what? Is 4. 8 divided by 2 is what? Is 4. So 1, and what? And 4. That means when x is 4, y is what? Is 1. When x is 1, y is what? Is 4. And don't forget, this is what? This is what? 4 degree 4. That means you have to get 4 roots. This is 1, 2, 1, 2. We have 2 different roots left for what? Both x and y. So from here we have b is what? Plus or minus what? Root 59. Root minus 159 over what? Over 2. So from there we can just take x is also what? 5 over 2 plus b plus, when it's now plus root minus 159 over what? Over 2 for the first one. And also x is what? 5 over 2. When it is what? Negative now, that will be what? Minus root minus 159 all over what? All over 2. Also, for y, that will be y is equal to 5 over 2 minus b. That's 5 over 2 When it is positive now, that will be minus root negative of 159 all over 2. And when it is negative now, that will be 5 over 2 plus root what? Minus 159 all over what? All over 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the solution of this what? Simultaneous equation. Don't forget to leave your comment in the comment section. Thank you for listening.